Drinks are on my mind. Decision sets in. What will turn your skin? Love is right. Let them have their time. And this notion, let's keep this wheels in motion. In motion. It's time to
Good evening. Good evening, race fans. Umpire here, Black Flag Racing TV. We've got to roll something in a minute. It's the final round of our test event for Gauntlet. And you could say it's been a fucking roaring success. Really, really has. Proved to be incredibly popular. I think we've even got to a stage, I think last week, where we were almost going to have to turn people away. It was that awesome. But going into the final race of this season, so it's a final race here. And that's how it stands going into this race. Star Groot leads the way. Can Wiggy win himself another championship after, or win himself his first championship after losing out on the GR4? 246 points he leads by over Stormfly VR46. 225 for him. Slipstream, despite coming in late, has put in some great results and chucked in 196 points. TJ just behind in fourth, still an outside chance of a top 3 for him. With Avalon on holiday, his chances of a top 3 are gone. Finito, goodbye. But look at Willard there, fucking lurking. Cheeky bit of lurking just outside the top 5 there. He could potentially chuck himself into that top 3. Don't count out Fubar, of course. GMAC, I don't think GMAC's racing today. Unlucky Gary. No points for you today. Yeah, we'll see how we get on. Let's see how we get on. So, I think we should probably roll something, shouldn't we? Shall we? Shall we roll it and see what we got? Yeah, I think we'll give this a go, shall we? Why not? Just look at the time. We've got time to do. We'll give it a minute because I don't think what everyone were expecting. If you want to check out some really, really funny stuff, check out the WSR race from last night because they were some crazy racing. Right, sod it. I'm not waiting any longer. Let's just get on with it and let's just roll our first race. Are we ready? Boom! Oh my days. GR1, Tokyo Expressway south counterclockwise. Tire weight 2, fuel rate 4. Weather is cloudy and it's at night. Now we're going to qualify for this, and then we're just going to start straight from there. So it is Tokyo Expressway. This is not great for GR1s, I don't think. South counterclockwise, I've got to find. There's too many. There's far too many of these. 20 minutes. It's cloudy. CO4. See, I could preset every. I could pre-roll them, I suppose, but I'm not going to do that. That kind of takes away from the whole fun of it, doesn't it? Leave variable time as it is. Preset weather as it is. Grid start with full start check. BOP. Let's turn that back on. Car settings prohibited. Boost off. Visible damage on. The tyre wear is ×2. Fuel consumption is ×4. Initial fuel, that's not going to change. Leave that. Filtered by category GR1. I think there's going to be some crashes there. I really think there's going to be some crashes. Right, there we go. Change event settings. Event settings are changed. Right. Quali, ready up. I should use the keyboard really, I've got one. So, format for this, if you've never seen this before, format is quite simple. They're going to go out and they're going to do a 1 hot lap quali. Then that sets the grid for this first race, 20 minutes, with the settings that have just been rolled, no time to practice, of course. Then, essentially, once we've finished, we roll again, we change the room settings, and we reverse grid that shit. And then we do that same thing again. When we come back with Season 2 of Gauntlet, we're going to change it slightly. The races are going to go to shorter, 15-minute races. And then we'll do 5 of them instead, because everyone's loving it. Loving it. Great format. Right, is everyone ready? I think they are. Let me just double check. Everyone's done and ticked in. TJ, tick in. Right, here we go. Everyone's done. 3, 2. Oh, use the freaking keyboard, you idiot. Oh, Wiggy nearly. Lucky I looked up then, because Wiggy had just unticked. Right, he's ticked back in again now. Here we go. Boom Shankar. Okay, hot lap quali. Let's see who has got what to offer. Me, the Tomahawk, clearly. Right, GR1's going to be interesting around here in the GR1s. Only 3 minutes, so they really need to get out there as soon as they possibly can. So all going out now in these, the slipstream is going to be really, really strong for these guys. Really strong. It's out first. TJ is just behind. He's got Stormfly. Stormfly's going to try and find a way past him before qualifying starts. You do not want to get stuck behind a slower car. What's everyone going for? Looks to me like it's a lot of 919s. There's a Mazda there. Yeah, it's quite a few 919s here, although there's a few gone for some of the older cars. Don't know if that's necessarily a good idea here, because you've got some really tricky corners. You need some kind of stability, and some of the older cars don't have that stability. We'll see. It's going to be a tricky one. Obviously the first race you usually find the cream rise to the top quite quickly because of the qualifying, but you only have to mess one up and then it's horribly wrong, because it's only one lap here, don't you? So essentially get it right first time. 1 second penalty for Arminis. Problem with that is I don't think he's going to get to serve that before his quali lap, so he's going to have to serve that on his quali lap, which is going to cost him time. Big time. Or is it just up there? I can't actually remember where the penalty line is. I'm sure it's on the straight somewhere. Could be wrong though. I usually am. So round that big switchback before they head down. Couple of little twists and turns, and then the lap will begin. And it really is one hot lap, and because it's over 2 minutes a lap, we really do need to be getting cracking. That's where the penalty is. That's a horrible place to serve it, as you're winding up for your first lap as well. Okay, so that's what we got. We got a 1:43.8. Of course, because the pit exit here is before the start finish line. So actually, you don't have a very big out lap here. I forgot about that. So they might get 2 laps, lucky buggers. If I'd known that, I would have made it smaller. Ho-hum, it is what it is.
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Fuck off, Greta, you moany old bitch. Right, so Wendigo currently on pole, 1:42.4. Stormfly, 1.3 seconds slower. That's some decent time for Wendigo. Monkey Man Macho, 1:55.5. Rob with a 2 minute, and Aussie Rooster, not good enough for him, that's 2 minutes 2 seconds. But top 3 at the moment, Wendigo, Stormfly, Slipstream, Fubar just outside that top 3. TJ in 5th, Manx is in 6th. Wiggy down in 7th, I'm sure he's got a bit more pace than that. He should get another lap in, so it shouldn't be a problem too much. Arminis looks happy with that. Willard in 8th, looking to improve on his 47.0, but he's got a bit of damage, which is going to have to wait to work its way off. And it does make the car a little bit slower when you're carrying that, which isn't great. So here we go back and find out if anyone can knock Wendigo off the top of this perch, because at the moment he's looking pretty darn quick. Oh! Manx with a tried to send one, but there was no gap there, and Manx gives a love tap to Wendigo ahead of him. Wendigo does manage to keep the car going though, but no improvement for him thus far. Slipstream has closed that gap to just 1/100th of a second with a 42.463. Wendigo does improve though with a 41.9, so that's a pretty darn good improvement. So it'll be front row will be Wendigo from Slipstream, Stormfly from Wiggy, gets himself into that top 4. Fubar in 5th with TJ alongside him on row 3. Row 4 will be Manx with Willard Gester, Phil and Arminis on row 5. Row 6 will be Jay and Rocket Rob. And Monkey Man couldn't get this car going, and him and Ozzy on row number 7. So there we have it, folks. They just weren't quick enough to get another hot lap done. So as soon as everyone resets, we'll get this race going. I don't think tyres on fuel should be a problem here. They're pretty good settings. They're 2 and 4, I think it is. So yeah, it's not. I don't think it's too much of a problem, to be fair, this time. You could probably do. I don't know. Looking at the fuel after the quali, they're probably going to have to refuel at some stage. But I don't know. I think they'll be all right tyres wise. I think you could probably do it on one set of softs. We'll soon find out. Depends how. Obviously, these are really fast cars with some really quick corners, so it may start to take chunks out of the tyre towards the end. But that's the beauty of it, because there's no testing, there's no practice. We get to find out how these cars react under these conditions. And I just refreshed the chat and just saw your message. How about you go fuck yourself? No, I'm good, man. How are you? How are you? So there we go. That's your qualifying lineup. Wendigo, Slipstream, Stormfly, Star Group, Fubar, TJ, Manxman, Willard, Phil, Arminis, Jay, Rocket Rob, Monkey Man, Macho Man, and Aussie Rooster brings up the rear, as they do down in Devon every now and again. Right, tyres. And here we go. 3, 2. The only thing is you can't send the message with the bloody keyboard, which is bloody stupid. 1. And here we go, straight from that qualifying. From now onwards, everything is reverse grid. So all the fast guys are going to have slow guys in front of them and just have to suck it. And what would be really, really cool is if the next track is a really tight, twisty, complicated circuit in rubbish cars. So let's have it, shall we? So Wendigo will lead out Slipstream, Stormfly from Star Group. A really, really good top 4 there. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4 lights. One more light, they'll go out, and these bellends will be racing. And away they go. Wendigo with a phenomenal start, as did Fubar. That was a brilliant start from them two. Just seemed to rockets off the line. Although as they start to cut through the gears, Stormfly and Slipstream just regain a little bit of that gap. But here we have it. Wendigo in the lead from Stormfly. Slipstream in 3rd, TJ in 4th. He's made a good move up past Fubar and Star Group. Fubar strangely had again, like Wendigo, a really, really bullet start through the first couple of gears, but then as they sort of hit 3rd and 4th gear, just couldn't get the power down and keep the car in that forward momentum. And the guys running the older Group 1 cars here tend to have that, and when they just clips that wall, that's going to allow Stormfly to close right up on him. He's going to have that momentum coming up behind him, and on this straight here, this is where these much older GR1 cars really come into their own, because they've got so much more straight line speed. They're absolute dog shit through corners, but in a straight line, brilliant motor cars. And we can see now he was closing on Wendigo, but Wendigo now, as that Mazda reaches its top end, it just starts to again creep away. But of course it has to get there first. And find that these older cars in a straight line tend to do it. And Stormfly round the outside, and he makes it up into the lead of this race. Wendigo's not going to give it up though. So Stormfly up into the lead. Wendigo in second. There is Slipstream running in third. Why am I holding the fucking control? I can do it from the keyboard now. Fubar running in fourth position. Moved up above TJ. There's TJ running in fifth. Arminus in sixth. He's just ahead of Willard, who is carrying a penalty. We'll see him there. It's a seventh for Arminus, sixth for Maxman. Maxman moving up into sixth place. Willard carrying a penalty. He's in eighth. He's now served that penalty. Monkey Macho Man running in ninth. He's got Wiggy behind him. Wiggy's had a terrible start to this race. Not where he was expected to be. Particularly that this is for the championship now. He's currently in the lead of the championship. He does not want to be sitting that far behind his championship contenders most particularly Stormfly. Imagine if he lost out another championship despite being in the lead to Stormfly on the last event. It would be murdering time. Phil in 11th. He is 3 seconds back from Monkey Macho Man or Man Macho. There's Jay running 2.1 seconds back from Phil. Rocket Rob, 13th place, 7.3 seconds back. And Aussie Rooster struggling a little bit in that Mazda LM55, back in 14th place. But there's your race leader, just putting out a little bit of a gap on Wendigo. Now he wants to try and stay out of slipstream if he can, particularly when they head into that really long back straight, heading back up the hill towards this section they're in now. That entire sector 3, if a car is tucked in your slipstream nicely, can be a very difficult part of the racetrack. He's putting out a 1.8 second lead now from slipstream, who's got past Wendigo up into second. And yeah, one second back to Wendigo. So he's still hanging on that top 3 Wendigo, but it looks like that Mazda's just giving up a little bit in a straight line to those 2 cars ahead. Fubar's still running in 4th. He's not pulling away from TJ though. TJ is stuck in behind him like a priest at a child's birthday party, which is where that's where he went the other day. That's where he could race. He was at a birthday party with lots of priests. 5.7 seconds is the gap back to, at the moment, the best of the rest, who happens to just be Arminus. There he is running in 6th place, 5.1 seconds behind TJ. He's got Manx for company. Manx sticking with him and trying to find a way to get that car up into that top 6 again. A couple of places gained for Wiggy. He's got ahead of Monkey Man Macho. He's got ahead of Willard. He's up into 8th place, but still 7 places, 16, over 16.5 seconds behind his championship contender right now, Stormfly. There's Willard running in 10th. He's got Monkey Man Macho ahead, 1.7 seconds ahead. He is trying to gain, actually. If we look at Monkey Man Macho ahead here, we can see. No, we can't. We can see him gaining on Wiggy. Not far up ahead as they head into this hairpin at the top of the straight. He gained quite a lot of time on him. And for a brief moment, Monkey Man Macho made that overtake, but it didn't last very long because Wiggy back up into 8th position. Phil running in 11th, under a bit of pressure from Jay. 7/10 of a second for him, but he is closing that gap significantly on Phil. He's a big fan of Tokyo. It's not his best Tokyo track, but it's certainly one of the better ones. But he's at the moment that gap's been managed at about 7 to 8 tenths by Phil, but he's going to have to keep doing that because Jay's not going to let him go, not by a long shot. Aussie up past Rob now. He's half a second up. Rob 1 second back, in fact, in 14th. So Wendigo back ahead of AJ. He's managed to regain 2nd place, but them 2 battling has just allowed Stormfly to open that gap up. 2.1 seconds for the flying Hungarian Dutchman. So Hungarian, I suppose you could call him either. Yeah, 1.7 he is now as they head up to the top of the hill. We'll watch them switch back on themselves and head towards the start-finish line to complete lap 4. Tyres not really a problem. Fuel will be. There will need at some stage to go in and refuel. Let's have a quick look at the differences, particularly between the older and the newer cars. So we look at Stormfly there, who's running in the lead of this race. He is 1.2 seconds clear. Fuel-wise, he's going to have to... I think he'll make the halfway point. If he can, that's fine. Another half a tank will get him to the end. But, you know, with only 3 litres a second refill, you want to be putting on as little as humanly possible. Wendigo in the Mazda burning a little bit more fuel. And that is just going to mean more time in the pits, unfortunately. Slipstream tucked in behind him. He's trying to make the move here. Can Slip get this move done? He's been really, really miserly with that fuel. In fact, I think he's kind of happy to sit in behind Wendigo and just let that fuel go on a slow burn and give him an opportunity in the pits to come out a little bit sooner with having put on less fuel. Then we go back to Fuba. It's 6.5 seconds now. He's just starting to pull a little bit away from TJ. Give himself a bit of breathing room. Not making any inroads into that front 3. They've disappeared off up the road. They're going to have their own little racing competition up there. But Fuba have been quite good with the fuel thus far. TJ, no such luck with that. He's not fuel saving. He's just got his foot firmly planted through the floor and he's racing G-Max style. I don't care whose fuel it is. I don't care who's paying for it. I'm fucking not, so I'm going to use it all. Glug, glug, glug. So he'll be coming to the pits this lap. He will have to refuel. And he's probably going to have to put on somewhere around 70 litres. And I'm really sorry, mate, but...
you can't park that there, mate.
You can't park that there. He's in the pits, though, finally. Makes it in. Stormfly comes in, actually. Stormfly in earlier than I thought he'd be. So he's going to put on a little bit more. So he obviously really, really burnt some towards the end then. Willard stays out. He's been very miserly in that Porsche 919. Very, very miserly with the fuel. Jay, not quite so miserly. Just going red now. So he's going to have one more lap after this. Which should, well, take past 10-minute mark. That's ideally where you want to be, past the halfway mark. There's Phil running in 10th position. He's got one more lap left in him as well. So that's where Stormfly comes out. He's picked up that dreaded 3-second penalty. It's absolutely brutal. It could cost you somewhere near double, particularly on a track like this, which is quite a fast track. Yeah, it's going to cost him significant time. So we'll look there. The gap from Rocket Rod was 13 seconds. We'll see that absolutely tanking, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Should look the other way to film really, but yeah. He did lose quite a lot of time though, whatever happens. So that promotes Slipstream to the lead of this race. He'll pit at the end of this lap. Wendigo's really pushed it to the limit. They're both going to come in this lap. No, Slipstream opting to stay out for one more lap. Not entirely sure whether that is genius or stupidity. He has got the fastest lap of the race around 40.6, but that is really, really low on fuel. Quite fuel intensive, these cars, particularly for this, and it's not a small racetrack either. I think he's dicing a little bit with death, because I think he's going to compromise his pace a little bit. Maybe he felt that because he's got to serve a penalty, he can fuel save. I don't know. But I think he's being a little bit brave, a very, very brave man. Big brave soldier, give him a cuddle. Give him a fucking medal. Ominous losing out to Wiggy Wiggy, breezing through into second. And he will need to pit. Well, you know, based on the fact that Slip's managed to stay out for an extra lap, he could probably do one more after this, if he's brave enough. Armin's also doing very, very well with the fuel, just a little bit miserly with it, not using it all, and kind of managing to stay out a little bit longer. Again, Monkey Man, Macho. So everyone that's made it past this 10-minute mark is in a really, really good position. Lots less fuel to put on board. Manx Man, he hasn't been in. He's been quite miserly with that fuel as well, as has Willard. And I think we're going to see all these guys coming in. So at the moment, 49.2 seconds is the gap between those that haven't pit and Stormfly, who was in the lead and did. I think he's underfueled, you know, because they started in half a tank, right? And if half a tank is taking most of them half the race, he's only just over half. I think he might be having to do quite a bit of fuel saving towards the end here. I think he's been a little bit brave with the button. And we know what happens when you're brave with your button in the pits, don't we? This weekend proves just what happens when you're brave with the button. So, Wiggy in, Slipstream in, but for some reason, Arminist opts to stay out, as does Manx and Willard Gista. Could it be that none of them know where the pits is? I'm looking at Willard's gauge, and I think he just didn't find the pit entrance, and I think Arminist might have been in the same situation because they are really low on fuel right now, and still they've got to find a way into those pits. Yeah, I think we've got a where the fuck was the pit entrance kind of scenario going on there. So Stormfly is 35 seconds off the lead of this race. Slipstream comes back out 7 seconds to go. Also with that dreaded 3-second pit lane penalty. That is brutal. Wiggy does the pits, gets back out in 6th. That's a brilliant position from him. And as Slip serves that penalty, through comes Wiggy into 5th place, breezing past, taking that 5th. So once Arminist, Manx and Willard go in, our 1, 2, 3 could very well be Stormfly, Stargroup and Slipstream. And that'll be an interesting battle to the line, because Stormfly, I think, underfueled a little bit. I think Wiggy will probably just about make it. Slip's got plenty to get him to the end. I think Stormfly's really going to have to play with the fuel a little bit towards the end there. I think he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. We'll wait and see. I could be wrong. I usually can. So Arminist finally goes in. What about Manxman? Manxman's in. What about Willard? Willard's run out of fuel. Well, he's got at least he's going slow enough now that he can find a pit entrance. I suppose from that respect, that's good. So through goes Stormfly. Willard has got plenty of time now to keep an eye out for that pit entrance. As through comes Stargroup, and soon we'll see Slipstream. Through he comes as well. We'll stay on with Willard because it's quite interesting watching someone agonisingly limping towards the pits. Fubar through when D go through. And the worst thing about it is you know that you've then got to be stationary for 30 seconds while you put the fuel on. Here comes Monkey Macho Man. Willard's missed the pit entrance yet again. He's missed the pit entrance, and he's going to have to do yet another lap at 49 miles an hour. This is going to be the world's longest ever lap in a Group 1 car. Do you know what? I wish I was racing now. I might have actually not lost. So there we go. So that gap down to 0.7 of a second. Look at where Arminist comes back out. Holding that car out there for that extra length of time. Massive difference. He splits Stormfly and Stargroup. So the overcut incredibly strong here so far. Pace-wise though, he's really got to put the hammer down, because 42.4 is his fastest lap. 40.9 is Wiggy's. 40.8 for Stormfly. Those last lap was shockingly awful. In fact, he's had 3 shockingly awful: 44.3, a 45.0 and a 44.7 compared to his fastest lap, which is a 40.8. Slipstream's got the fastest lap in a minute with a 40.682, and he's been steadily in the kind of 41s, low 42s, apart from the pit, of course. So whatever's going on with Stormfly, and I think I think the fuel saving is becoming a bit of an issue. So that's where we're at. Is Arminist takes the lead of this race because Stormfly's got to try and nurse that car home. Is it a ploy actually? Has he thought, well, I know I haven't got enough fuel, so if I tuck in behind someone else for a little while, I've got a reasonable gap. If I stay tucked in for a little while, I can save a bit of fuel, and then I don't have to worry so much. I might be able to make it to the end. Is it a clever tactic, or is Arminist just better than Stormfly, and he just has to suck it up? Wiggy running in third. He's closing fast on those front three. He hasn't got such concerns with fuel saving. He's just going to carry on driving. He's got enough to take him to the end. It is, what, 3.5 minutes till the end of this race. And there's Willard plodding along. He's going to make it. To be fair, he's still miles ahead of Rocket Rob. But he's going to be agonised because he's still got to go to the end here. He's got that big kind of switchback. That's that kind of triple right-hander. And then he's got to come back all the way up the hill before he can get to the pits. Graham, it's on the hairpin. So when you come around the hairpin, it's not by the start-finish line where you think it is. It's at the top of the hairpin. Just carry on going straight and don't turn right. He's just sent me a WhatsApp message. I'm gonna reply. Excuse me. Excuse me again. No, I'm just taking a piss because he ran out of fuel. He couldn't find a pit entrance, so he's just WhatsApped me to ask where it is. Anyway, there's Harmonist. He's still leading the race. Wiggy's ahead of Stormfly now. I said Stormfly on the field, nothing. Actually, I think that fuel saving has helped him. But if you look at the lap times, really cost him some pace where he's had to manage that fuel. He's not been able to go flat out. It may have been worth spending a couple of extra seconds in the pits, getting a little bit more fuel on board, and maybe he could have given us some action towards the end. So, Slip now getting involved. 40.0, that's a really quick lap. Especially with some slipstream there. He's got three cars in front of him, all pulling him along, and that's Star Group making the move up into the lead. Little touch there between Stormfly and Slip, and Stormfly facing in the wrong direction. And I'm sorry, my friend, but
You can't park that there, mate.
and he's got a 2-second penalty as well to boot for the collision. So yeah, in his desperate attempt to make up for not putting enough fuel on board, he's ended up dropping down the order. So looking very different. When this race started, the championship leader was in 10th, and his challenger was up near the front of the pack. Now it's all changed. He's down in 6th with the championship leader, Wiggy, currently leading this race, but Slipstream doesn't want to give this up just yet. Really good line through there. Did Willard make it into the pits? She's coming up now. This is go straight on. So when you turn left right here, go straight on when you turn right. It's there. Don't come all the way around. It's straight on there. That's it. You reverse. You found it. Well done, my friend. In the pit she goes. Yeah, it's not by the start-finish line. It's well confusing here. He's made it in. He's made it. So Slipstream does get into the lead of this race, and we missed the overtake because we were so busy watching Graham try and find the entrance to the pits. It's nice of everyone on chat to help you out with that, mate. Really nice of them. Tell them they're all bastards. I bet not one of them tried to help you. I bet they're all laughing. Right, half second Slipstream now leads from Wiggy. 1.5 seconds to Arminis. Arminis holding off his compatriots when Digo Monkey Man Macho finishes in 7th. That's race done for them. So heading down to the line. This is where we're racing. Monkey Man Macho finishes in 7th. 8th is Manx. TJ finishing in in 9th place. Phil will be in 10th. Jay in 11th. 7.6 seconds back. I'm sorry I didn't watch you guys in the back. There was just so much going on up front, to be fair. Aussie 13.5 seconds. Back in 12th. Rocky Rob in 13th. Willard has finished in 14th after finally finding the pits eventually. So here comes Slip round this final corner. He's 1.4 seconds clear now. Doesn't look like Wiggy is going to catch him at this stage. Both running on fumes, but it's enough fumes to make it. Graham's not happy. Well, at least you get to start from the front of the grid next, mate. You get pole. There's always that. That was the ploy, wasn't it? You just wanted to start from pole. So here comes Arminis in 3rd. Wendigo making a final charge towards the line, but I think he's just got enough to hold off. Here comes AJ. coming down towards the line. Last turn is done. He's going to take the win here. Good solid points from AJ in first. Wiggy across the line in second. Arminis comes home in third. Wendigo in fourth. Here comes Phil Fubar Philantis. Nice solid top 5 again for him. He's becoming a bit of a perennial top 5 finisher. Stormfly would have been the top 5 had he put on enough bloody fuel. Came home in 6th place. What a race that was. That was a turn up for the books. At one stage it looked like Stormfly was going to absolutely dominate, but it turns out that's not the case today. And Graham's calling for a restart, which he's not going to get because he's not Kevin. There we go. So that was done and dusted. Let's do the full classified rundown. Slipstream from, what did I do? There we go. Slipstream wins from Star Groot. Arminis in third. Wendigo in fourth. Fubar in fifth. Wendigo and Fubar both using that LM55 VGT. Some more of the 919 runners. Stormfly, Monkey Man, Macho and Manx 6th, 7th and 8th. TJ in the LM55 in 9th. The only runner of the TS 050 hybrid was Phil. He was in 10th. Jay in the LM55 and Aussie in the LM55 also were 11th and 12th. And Rocket Rob in the 919 and Willard was 3 laps back. But that's because he spent most of that race trying to find the entrance to the pit lane. So there we go. That's obviously going to be reversed for the next race. How about that then? That was pretty good. So we're going to cover this back over. And we're going to roll again, shall we? Shall we see what we've got next? I've got to remove... I need to remove GR1 from the list tonight because we've had GR1 now. We don't want to get that again. Hold the line caller while I do that. That is now done. Right. Let's see if on this next track when we roll it, if you can actually find the pit lane this time, guys. Yeah. Right. Are we ready? Let's do this thing. Why is the cover not disappearing? There we go. That's better. So it is GR2 at Scuba, or however you pronounce it, Sakuba. Tyre wear 10, fuel rate 6, and it's in the rain. That is awesome, absolutely awesome. Yeah, loving it. I'll tell you what, I'll turn the refuel rate up a little bit. How about that? So let me change the room settings and then I'll turn the refuel rate up a little bit for you. Because it's the last race and all that. And I don't properly hate you. Right, so we're going to practice and race. We've got to go to set by host as well, but it's to Scuba. Scuba. There we go. In the GR2, this is ridiculous. Should we practice endurance race, shouldn't it? That'll be better. Weather will be in the rain. I think this is the first wet race we've had, isn't it? I don't recall us having a wet race previously. I didn't even know this track could have rain on it. But there we go. We have learnt something new. Cloudy with rain, R05. It is late morning. We'll leave equal conditions mode on. A grid order will be set by moi. BOP on, of course. Tyre wear is an utterly ridiculous times 10. And the fuel consumption rate is times 6. Refueling speed does need to go up a bit. I left it on 1, didn't I? I tell you what, it's gone up to 10 litres a second as it's the last couple of races. You're still in stone with half a tank though. So how about that? So filter by category, we are in the GR2s this time. Boomshanker, change event settings. Right, so just need them to get their cars and get ticking. We're not spinning again, suck it. Doesn't work like that. Oh. Not spinning again. You asked me to spin again. I will spin again, but I'm putting the fuel refuel rate back down to 1, and I'm increasing the charge of the tyre wear to 20. This should be fun. To be fair, if you're on wet tyres, it'll still take ages to wear down because they're wet tyres, aren't they? I bet they're fucking absolutely apoplectic in the chat right now. I love it. Absolutely love it. I can't wait to see what the last race is going to be. To be fair, they've had some good ones rolled over the last few gauntlets. It's not all been rubbish. Right, shall I set the grid? Let's get this grid set. Starting grid. Right, I need to get my phone out because I've photographed the thingy. Talk amongst yourselves while I bring up the photograph. Should open my PlayStation. See, if I do this stuff earlier, like open the PlayStation app ready, with the picture up ready, I can do this faster. Isn't it good that I'm a professional? What would you do without me, huh? Okay, here we go. Let's get this up so I can set this grid. So, on pole will be the guy who can't find the pits. It should be pretty easy to find this one because it's pretty obvious where it is. But it was really nice of you guys to help him out in finding the pits through chat. And that's assuming he wasn't. He might not have been on chat with me though. I think he was though. So it will be Willard on pole with Rocket Rob. Aussie will be in 3rd position on row number 2. Aussie will have Jay alongside him, holding his hand, keeping him company, and passing him a little paper bag to breathe into when they realise how bad this track is going to be. Then it'll be Phil, then it'll be TJ. Where is Phil? He's here somewhere. There he is. Then it'll be Phil, then it's TJ. That's not TJ, that's TJ. Right, that's page 1 done. Working our way down the order. Then it'll be Manx and Macho Man. So Manxy Man. And then Macho Man. And then we've got oh no, I left the pits without enough fuel in. Stallfly. Sorry man. Then it's Fubar. Then it will be Wendigo. Arminis. Wiggy. And then Slipstream will be right at the back of the pack. Okay. Ready? Good. 3, 2, 1. And I think everyone's just to make sure everyone's ticked in. I don't leave anyone out. It won't be fun if I can't see everybody crash. Boom Shankar. Let's have it. This is going to be absolute carnage. I cannot wait to see how many of these fuckers crash. I should have put it on heavy damage, man, just to really fuck with them. This is going to be awesome. So, wet track. Some angry, unhappy. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, I hope that bug's not back. Ah, Scuba's bugged. Scuba's bugged. Scuba's bugged. Let's jump back in again then. Right, there we go. We are away. Yeah, we're away. I thought we had a big bug then. I was about to cry. That was carnage. I don't know what happened there. But not all the cameras are working. Oh, there we go. They are working now. So there was a big crash in the middle. I don't know who it was. I actually don't care. Right, so FUBAR with a 2-second penalty is in the lead. It is full wet. Absolutely full wet. Apologies for missing the crash at the beginning. I was completely thrown by the problem with the controls. So there is a bug. We found a bug and it's absolutely Wendigo in second. Manx is up to third. How long can he hold on? How long can FUBAR hold in there? Can FUBAR, as I say, can get his first win, but he's just serving that penalty. He's already dropping out of the top four. Wiggy up to fourth place. Arminus going very, very wide as they come around a complete lap one. Slipstream into fifth. FUBAR stays in fourth. Wendigo with the fastest lap on the opening lap there. Aussie in sixth. Phil in seventh. Arminus in eighth. Rocket Rob in ninth. TJ is in 10th. Monkey Macho Man in 11th. Willard, part of, I think he must have been part of that shenanigans, but he's on the intermediate tyres. Interesting, actually, that he's chosen to go for the inters. It is just over the cusp of inters and wets. Obviously, I don't have weather data, so I don't know if it's going to get wetter. But it looks like part of the tracks are kind of on that verge of inters. Looking at Stormfly, Stormfly's gone for racing softs. I don't know what is going through his mind. Is he hoping that at some stage the track's going to dry out? But at the moment, that looks like a massive, massive cock-up.
Wow, it's very nice.
Not very nice. Yeah, that looks like he's absolutely fucking balls that one up. He's chosen not to come in though, so he clearly feels that the track will get drier. Full wets for Jay. Full wets for Monkey Man Macho. Willard, we know, is on the intermediates. TJ also on the intermediate, actually. So not everybody opting for full wets. And actually, if you look at the weather radar, which you can't, I can see it, but you can't. It's just to the left of the thing. I'm not changing the size of that box just for that. It's right on the cusp of intermediate. So it might be worthwhile for one or two to gamble and go on to the inters. Although it looks like Stormfly's going full gamble and just going for the softs completely. Arminus also on those intermediate tyres. Phil on intermediates. Aussie on intermediates. Intermediates for Star Groot. Then FUBAR full wets. Slipstream full. He's inters as well. Wendigo inters and Manxman inters. So quite a lot of them have started on the inters. There's only a few on the full wets. 56. 132 for Manxman in that lead. He's 1.6 seconds clear and got that GTR purring with those intermediate tyres on. Doing a really, really sterling job out there. Can Manxman get his first win? When he's on for, I don't think he's had a podium, but he may well have done. No, I think he's had a podium in Gauntlet, or has he? I can't freaking remember. He may have had a podium in Gauntlet, but he certainly hasn't had a win yet. Imagine if he gets his first Black Flag win today. That would be something special. And he clearly loves this track because he's just pulling out a nice gap. Now, this is the thing. Now, this is where we see what Stormfly can do with slick tyres on a wet track. So he's gone full slick. He's the only driver with that's either incredibly stupid or incredibly brave. I'll tell you which one it is in about 15 minutes time. Although, to be fair, the track is trying out and there's no rain. So I think this may be incredibly brave. I think he has said, I will sacrifice track position early on because I'm pretty much back amongst it anyway. Knowing that I'm going to be on slicks and everybody else is going to be on the wet compound tyres on a drying track. Interesting. At the moment, Manxman, there is a yellow flag somewhere. FUBAR getting rid of those wets. He already sees the benefit of changing early. Who is the yellow flag for? Of course, we don't know. But Manxman coming up behind, I think that is... that's Jay going very, very wide. And turning sideways and... sorry, mate, but...
You can't park that there, mate.
Yeah, very, very wide was old man Jay right there. And he will get back on the track eventually. Here he comes. Already being lapped by Edward. Not a fan of the weather, I see. Sorry, mate. I don't pick the weather. It rolls what it rolls. Wendigo started to close that gap, 1.2 seconds. Manx on the intermediates. Wendigo stays on the intermediates. Slipstream stays on the intermediates. Wiggy has stayed on the intermediates and slipped out into the pits. Does Wiggy come in as well? Wiggy's staying out for one more lap on the inters. Phil has stayed on the inters. Arminis stayed on those inters, as has Willard. He's up to 7th now. TJ stayed out as well. Monkey Macho Man, he's on the west. He's coming in now though, and he's getting swallowed up, and I can see why he's coming in. Good choice. So Fubar on those racing softs. As those in front go into the pits, well, some of the track is not ready for those, and
you can't park that there, mate.
He went off the track. He's not supposed to go straight on there. He's put on the brakes, and yeah. So Aussie, he has put on those racing softs. It's now starting to dry out. Monkey Man Macho's coming out in 12th position. He's come out on the intermediate tyres. Why have you done that? Is it going to rain? Well, that's the thing. Is it going to rain again? Has he done it because it is going to rain? Look, there are parts of the track you can see there that are still very, very moist. But the majority of the track, the racing line, is dry and ready for slicks. Rocket Rob, he's still on the wet compound tyres. He's going to be losing loads of time. Wrong button. That's what I wanted. Jay stays on the wet. If Jay goes onto the softs now, he's going to catch Rob, unless Rob goes in soon. So good chance to get on those slick tyres. So Manx still leads the way. The gap is now 10.6 seconds. He's stayed out on those intermediate tyres. He's doing another lap on the inters. Everybody else now, pretty much, other than Wiggy's also stayed out on the inters. He's 10.6 behind. But everyone behind that now on slick tyres. Wendigo serving a 3-second penalty. That's going to allow Slipstream to close right up. And up into 3rd place he goes. You can't give this guy free overtakes. He loves an overtake as it is. You can't give him freebies. Absolutely can't do that. But up he goes, and Stormfly making some moves now. So it looks like it wasn't stupidity. It was genius staying on those soft compound tyres, because he's now up into 4th, having not had to pit. He has the fastest lap of the race, and he's got relatively fresh, soft compound tyres that should take him to the end of this race. He will have to pit for fuel. There's no question about that. Those who haven't pit yet will still have to go in for fuel anyway. But yeah, he's put himself in a really, really good position. How about that? A little bit of foresight from VR46. Manx Man into the pits. Those tyres were shot now anyway. He had no choice but to go in, as does Wiggy. Slipstream comes through to take the lead of this race. I'm going to have a look at the standings in between these two to see if there's any way that AJ can break into the top. I don't think he can. I think he needs Wiggy and Stormfly to not finish the races to stand a chance of winning the championship. But I wouldn't put it past him breaking into the top 3 with a couple of big results. So 2.5 seconds clear he is at the moment of Stormfly, who I called an idiot, and it turns out that actually I'm the idiot, because he was a freaking genius, man. Wendigo up to 3rd. He's on the slicks. He's got enough fuel to take him to the end of this race. So bearing in mind the Stormfly ahead of him, and that's a yellow flag for somebody. I don't know who that yellow flag is for. That's for Jay. Listen, man.
You can't park that there, mate.
He's lost control of that car. Manx Man coming through from 4th place. It could still be a podium for Manx Man here, because Stormfly 2nd is going to have to pit for fuel at some stage. And of course, we don't know if the rain's going to come back. It could well do so. Unfortunately, they don't allow commentators that information, which is a bit weird. I can see what pedal someone's fucking pressing in their car. and all of their controls and stuff like that, which I arguably probably wouldn't have access to. But I can't see whether it's going to fucking rain or not. And the reason I'm doing it, I'm wondering if, because I moaned about not having keyboard controls quite a lot, and then we got them. I'm hoping if I moan enough about not being able to see the weather, that we can have that next. Fuck updates for you drivers, man. It's us that want updates. So Slip, Stormfly, and Aussie Rooster battling out. Although Aussie Rooster's battling out to stay on the same lap as them. It didn't last very long. Slip leads the way, half a second clear of Stormfly, running in second. Wendigo's in 34.8 seconds back. Is about to lap Aussie. Manxman led this race for all of the first stint, pretty much most of the first 10 minutes, and is currently running in fourth, 4.2 behind Wendigo. He hasn't put enough fuel on board, or is it because there's more rain coming? That's the thing. He hasn't put enough fuel to get to the end of this race, but he has put slicks on. So I'm wondering whether the weather radar is saying more rain is coming, so don't get too comfortable on those slick tyres. Fubar again, perennial fifth for Fubar. He's going to change his name to Fifth Bar. Fifth Bar, fifth, I can't say it. Fifth Bar, Fiffantis. I did it, I got it out, it came out. Wiggy, he's running in sixth. He's gone for medium tyres. I actually think the softs probably would have lasted on such a cold track. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Maybe I'm wrong. Phil's on those soft compounds in 19 seconds back. He's holding Willard at bay 1.1 seconds. Although Willard couldn't hold TJ at bay, and up into 8th goes TJ in the Lexus. As Stormfly into the pits for what should be his first and only stop. So Willard in 9th, 3.6 inside that top 10, just coming around to lap Rob, who decides that he doesn't want to go round the corner. What he actually wants to do is just go straight on. Jay back is 2.5 seconds back behind Rob, started closing down now. I said if you put on those soft tyres you would start to catch him, and indeed he is. Down to 1.5 seconds, makes the move on Rob, and following Arminis, who's lapping him through, he's into 13th. Where's Monkey Man Macho? Willard into the pits on the. It stayed on those intermediates for so long. Odd choice to stay out so long on those inters, but indeed that's what he did. Monkey Man Macho is running in 12th. He's 1.8 behind Aussie Rooster. They're both in the GTR. So Willard into the pits, and he's back out. Is he back out in 10th? He is, but he's got the dreaded 3-second pit lane penalty, which I have been contemplating turning off, but then fuck it, why? It's much more fun watching people struggle. The struggle is real, my friends. The struggle is real, and I want to televise it live for the world to see your pain. Right, there's your race lead. It's 2.4 seconds clear. No one told him it wasn't his party. He's like, fuck it, I don't care if it's Wiggy and Stormfly's party. I'm gonna race it. He's just coming to the pits. That frees Wendigo, who will not, I say will not have to pit. We might have to look at the state of those tyres towards the end. If he can hang those tyres on, he's in a really, really good position now. And he's got the fastest lap with a 1:52.3. So Slip back out, 10.8 seconds. He hasn't changed his tyres. He's just put fuel on board. Stormfly has changed tyres and put fuel on. He's in 3rd. He's looking good. Potentially can close on Slip, and Slip, having not changed his tyres, might find them a little bit uncooperative, shall we say, towards the end of the race. There's Fubar running in 4th. He might find his tyres quite uncooperative too. 3.5 seconds to catch Stormfly, but 2.6 ahead of Manxman, who led this race so well for so long. He is slightly better fare on his soft compound tyres than Fubar ahead of him. might be able, based on pace as well, his pace is looking good, might be able to close on the back of Fubar. And I think it's possible in the next 3 or 4 laps we could see a little battle going on there. There's Wiggy, 2.6 back. He opted for the medium compound tyres. We've seen that pretty much those softs can last the distance. So he's giving up quite a lot of traction in and out of the corners. But guaranteeing that, of course, he didn't have to stop again. This is the great thing about Gauntlet, is you just don't know if the tyres are going to last. So sometimes you make a gamble, sometimes that gamble pays off. Stormfly gambled, he put on soft compound tyres when everyone else said, nay, I'm putting on something a little bit grippier than that, my friend. And he went, go on then, you do that, I've got a different game plan. And that's helped because he's now 3rd. He even said it exactly like that. There's TJ running in 7th. He's 15 seconds back from Wiggy. That's a big task. With his tyres looking like that, he might actually have to go and replace those tyres. You can't just replace that front left, which is what needs replacing. There is Phil. If TJ replaces those tyres, then Phil will move up. And there's nothing TJ can do about it. He just has to accept he won't be 7th anymore. There is Arminix coming through. He's in 9th position. He might also benefit from TJ going into the pits. He can run to the end of this race. He's also on the mediums as well, interestingly. Monkey Man Macho Man. And I want to thank you, TJ, for putting that song in my fucking head, you absolute arse blanket. He's 8.7 back from Arminix at the minute. He's struggling a little bit today, which is unusual for him. Usually, he's pretty darn quick, and I know in the Porsche Cup. Oh, that's not the way to drive that car.
You can't park that there, mate.
No, you definitely can't park that there, mate. I've lost the gun. I've lost my button.
I crashed.
You crashed? How are you coming fast?
Hello, mate. How are you coming fast? Aussie's running in 12th. There he is. He's gone for the soft compound tyre. The gap to Monkey Man Macho is 8.5 seconds. Willard moves up to 10th after that spin from the Triple M. And that was something, I think that was Jay facing the wrong way, I think. Yeah, that is Jay.
You can't park that there, mate.
Facing in completely the wrong direction. I think he's given up on this track now. Certainly looks that way.
Johnny loves Chachi!
So yes, he has given up. Rob is up into 13th place. Is he going to throw a bandit? That's the question. We'll soon find out. So Wendigo leads this race. He's got to do 3 laps on tyres that have seen better days. They need recycling and turning into condoms, because at the moment they're a good year, and if you turn them to 365 condoms, they become a fucking great year. But the state of those tyres on Wendigo, 6.6 seconds is the lead at the moment, but that is going to start to very quickly come down. Slipstream, he can make it to the end, although fuel-wise he's going to be a bit ropey, but he should be able to make it to the end. And we can see he's going to be closing on Wendigo. Stormfly, fuel again, bit ropey, tyres looking alright. He's going to be closing as well. I think Wendigo's going to have to do something. He's going to try and hold on. Wiggy could potentially looking at top 3. There's a yellow flag. Is that because of Jay's? Jay's still, yeah, Jay's parked up. He's given up on that shit. He's like, sod this. I'm going for a cigarette. And why not? Why would you not? Willard up into the top 10. He's getting some blue flag action. Arminix in 9th. He's lapping Rob for the umpteenth time. Phil will be doing that. Has already done that. He's in 8th. He's closing on TJ actually. His tyres in a much better condition than TJ's. TJ's going to have to struggle to try and get them home. But we're going to start to see some cars finishing this race now. TJ should just be able to hold on if the car doesn't do something untoward under braking. Manx Man, we're going to see him cross the line now. He will take 6th position, I think. Final lap for TJ. He does make it across the line in 7th. Manx gets that extra lap. Phil will be in 8th. Arminitz in 9th. There's your leader, Wendigo. He does take the win just from Slipstream in 2nd, who ran out of fuel. Stormfly in 3rd. He held on. Stargrit will come home in 4th. He's got some way to go to finish, but he will certainly come home alive. 16.7 seconds is that gap. Across the line he goes. That's 4th place for him. Fubar again with a 5th place. It's 5th bar, 5th Lantis. There he is, and it's Manx 6th placed man. But great job from Manx. He led this race for the entire first stint. TJ for Phil, then Arminus, then Willard inside that top 10 again. Monkey Man Macho, and then some others. We'll do the full rundown, shall we? So Wendigo, good win from him. We will bring these back up there like so. No, we'll get rid of them so you can see this first. So there's Wendigo in the GTR Nismo. He takes the win. Slipstream in 2nd, Stormfly in 3rd. 4th was Wiggy, Fubar in 5th, Manx in 6th, TJ in 7th, Phil in the RCF GT500. I don't know why I say GT500, they're all fucking GT500, stop being a bellend. He was in 8th place. Arminus in 9th, the Willard G-Star, he was in 10th, Monkey Man Macho, Triple M in 11th, Aussie in 12th, Rocket Rob in 13th, and after torrid time, I think Jay gave up, parked up and went for a fag. He comes in 14th. Basically, he was to start at the front of the grid. And I think we're now joined by the one, the only, Mr. Kenneth Knudsen. Welcome, mate. Just in time for the final race, so we'll get that rocking very, very soon. There we go. Right. 2-minute break, fellas. Go and get a drink, and then we will roll, and then we will sort shit out. How about that? Let me tell them on chat, because some of them aren't listening. 2 min... Oh, bollocks. 2 min to roll. Because I need to piss. Basically, that's why I'm doing it. Back very, very quickly. Don't go anywhere. Right, you horrible bunch of reprobates. Don't know why I'm doing this. Right. Shall we get rolling? Let's get rolling. Rolling. And don't tell me now, TJ, because every time your missus tells me now, I have to finish. Then she gives me a biscuit. And it's not fair, because it's making me fat. Right, here we go. We're rolling. Boom. That's what we've got. It is Dragon Trail Gardens in reverse in the Group 3 cars. Tyre wear on 9, fuel wear on 10. It's cloudy, it's sunset. At least it's not wet. At least it's not wet. There is that. So there we go. Let's get the room settings sorted, shall we? And very nearly it just clicked start. How fucking funny would that have been? Dragon Trail and its gardens in reverse. Listen, there are worse racetracks that you could have. It's not a bad racetrack to finish this series on, I don't think. What we will do for the next Gauntlet is once we've done a track as well, we're going to take the track off. All the connotations of the track off, I think. We'll see. I think there's enough tracks for us to be able to do that. We'll see. We'll see how it works. I'll do the math, and if we can, we'll take all of that. So the forward and reverse of each track as we get them. So what we were GR3 tyres and fuel. Tyre wear is times 9. Fuel is times 10. Yeah, it didn't really work in the last race, mate. It was a bit carnage. I think we had someone fall wet, someone enters, and Stormfly started on the soft compound tyres, and then underfueled when he went in and pit. Right, so there we go. Settings done. This is the final race of season 1 of Gauntlet, and bearing in mind that Gauntlet was only selected as a 5-race series to see. We'll test it, see if it works, and tweak it. Turns out it's fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. A little bit of credit to Gary because he came up with the idea for this. So there we go. Settings done. We're not re-rolling. No, suck it. It's not how it works. It rolls and then you do it. You can ask for a re-roll all you like. You're not getting one. The randomizer has spoken. You can't argue with the randomizer. The randomizer is essentially what God is to irrational people. So tick so I can set the grid. You can call me Sam Smith all you like. I don't care. Andy Smith, thank you very much for that. I was going to sing one of his songs, but I realised I don't actually know any Sam Smith songs. I have no idea why I don't know any. I should do, shouldn't I? Has he done some famous stuff? I think it's because I listen to metal, mate. I don't listen to fucking little cry with whiny fucking bellends. Right, let me sort out the grid, shall we? Starting grid. So at the front of the grid will be... I'm looking at the wrong picture. I need to load the correct pictures, don't I? I think it will be Jay, if I remember rightly. It will indeed. Jay will be at the front of the grid. Let's find him. He's here somewhere. There he is. And he'll be joined on the front row by Rocket Rob. I don't know why I think I need to look at that. It's generally them two at the front. No offence, Jay. Where's Rob gone? Is Rob even ticked in? Oh, if he's not, we'll sort it out later. Right, then it will be Ozzy. Then after Ozzy, it is Monkey Man Macho. Surprised to see him back there, to be honest. Then we've got Willard. Then it will be Arminus. Previous picture, please. It's a very slow process, this. Then we've got Phil. Then we've got TJ. Then we've got Manxman. Then we've got Fubar. Something's going very horribly wrong here and I can't work out why. Oh, that's right. Nearly there, folks, nearly there. Right, so Fumar, then it's Wiggy. Who's there? Look at you getting practicing, guys, because I'm slow. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Then it's Stormfly. Then it is Slip. Then it is Wendigo, and then at the back Newton because he came in super late. Is Rob checked in now? Has Rob arrived yet? He has. I can now add him. Who are we missing? Are we missing anyone? Well, exit and come back in, and then you can come out again. Exit the room, and then you can do it. Are you all still stuck? Or are you? There are some people out of track, so. You're getting too much practice time, and I don't like it. Alright, Monkey Man Macho's coming back, and then we can finally set the grid properly and then get on with it. Talk amongst yourselves, people, while these people get in and out of the room. I don't have to re-roll anything. You'd like me to do that, it's not going to happen. We're sticking with this, but this is what you would have got if you re-rolled. Hang on. Just going to show you what you could have ended up with. We're not re-rolling, by the way. Let me make it abundantly clear. We're not re-rolling. But you would have got GR2s at Lego Maggiore full course reverse. So, actually, it probably would have been better. Not re-rolling. Right, I'm going to set this grid and then we're going to go, and it's going to be tough. And you're going to love it. It's going to be a great race. So I just have to make sure everyone's where they need to be. I think it's just Rob I need to move. Just grid, he'll go all the way up there. I think we're there or thereabouts, are we not? Just double checking the back of the grid's right. Right, we're done. We're starting. It's all been done. There we go. That's 2. And 1. No, it's 11. I typed 1 twice. 1. And we're going. Good luck, fellas. Who's still initialising? Why is someone still initialising when the room's supposed to be done? You mofos. If you've done this deliberately to make me re-roll, I'm going to set this room up again. I'm saving these exact settings just in case. Oh, fuck's sake. Right, everyone needs to untick and retick and we'll try again. I don't know if there's a way you could have manipulated it that the room couldn't start it, but it's not. It's all going to be for naught because if I have to restart the lobby, I'm going to restart it with exactly the same settings. And I'm actually going to turn the fuel refill down to 1 as a punishment for your insolence. have to set a new lobby, I think. Can't run. So nice try, but there we go. Right, talk about yourselves while I sort out a new lobby. This must be really fucking not entertaining for anyone watching. It's good fun for you fuckers though, so I really don't care about anyone else. Yeah, I'm going to set up a new run with exactly those settings. I did save them as well. The only thing I've got to redo is the grid. New lobby is up. Well, once everyone's in, I will reset this lobby again and we'll get cracking. Live TV, folks. Live TV. This is what happens when it's live. Could be worse. It could be somebody else running the lobby and I ain't got a clue what's going on and I could be cutting them off, which is what I usually do when the lobbies are messing around. It was just people were leaving and coming in and all that kind of thing. It obviously makes some issues. So it was Jay that broke us then. His fault. It's all Jay's fault. Jay broke us. That was a bit shit, wasn't it? I wonder how we can. I wonder if there's a way we can speed this up in between races. There's got to be a way to do it. There's got to be a way. I've got a week and a bit to plan it because the next Gauntlet is going to be on Thursdays from next week. Because next week we are. Well, this week we've got our last, of course, GR3. And then we'll crown our champion, Kevin. He's already won that championship. And then next week we start the joint GR3, GR4. They are separate but together. So if you're racing in both, you essentially are racing in a manufacturer's championship where you have to use the same manufacturer for both races all season. You can just race in one or the other. You don't have to race in both. It's a completely separate manufacturer's tournament. Which is operating. GR4 will be on Mondays at the same time we do this, and GR3 will be on Wednesdays at its usual time, of course. But Thursdays will be for Gauntlet, and that will start slightly late time of 9 p.m. But it'll be 5 15-minute races instead of just the 3 at 20 minutes. But I'm going to find a way to speed up the process in between, and it might mean that I roll them beforehand. And I record myself rolling them beforehand, so it's still fair. But then I can actually program the settings in just to make life a little bit easier and to run smoother. Yeah, there's no reason why I can't record the rolls and then show you the rolls. Right, is everybody in so I can set this grid? Almost. I can start setting it with the people I've got though, can't I? Let me start making a start to this grid. Talk amongst yourself, guys. I'll just get this done really quickly if I can. It did come back. Awesome. I wonder if there's a quicker way to reset the grid as well. That's the other thing I need to happen. Is a quicker way to reset the grid. This multitasking shit's not as easy as it looks, is it? Then we got Phil. There he is. TJ. I'm getting there, folks. I'm getting there. The races are good, but the admin in between is pretty fucking ropey, it's got to be said. I wouldn't part with it, to be fair. I'd ask for a steward's inquiry. Right, just 2 more to add to the grid, because they've now checked in. And last one just to put in his place, which will be, I think, I just want to check this one because I can't remember. Yeah. Right now. Okay. Right. I'm going to go. Right, it's working. Boom Shankar. We've got a race. Oh my god, that was mind-numbing. For anyone that watched, I do apologise for. Basically, if you skip through all that shit, I would edit it out, but I really can't be asked, to be honest. So here we go. Final race of the test season of Gauntlet, which has been a roaring success. Reverse grid, off we go. And it is a Dragon Dragons in reverse, 20 minutes of racing, and this decides the championship. Well, I think Wiggy's done enough to win it at this stage, but I will sort it out. And that's a great move in that Ferrari 458 from Monkey Man Macho. I think that was him that's dived through the middle. That is a really awesome little dive through for Monkey Man Macho up into the lead. Willard holding on in second. He's gone for that very good Supra, which we used in the endurance race for the weekend. Less said about that, the better, of course. Aussie running in third. He's gone for his tried and trusted, beloved Jaguar, and TJ up into the second place. And there's a good little battle going on there for second. Is it a BMW, TJ? That is a BMW. How was about that then? Knudsen, that's a great little dive from Knudsen. He's up into fifth already. I think that's the GTR he's gone for. It is indeed. Knudsen is on a massive charge. Massive charge for Knudsen. How about that? How do you like them apples, my friend? Got himself into the top 3 already. Can we get... What happened to Jay? Because Jay started on pole. Yeah, he's not having a good day today, is Jay. Is there a problem with your new wheel, my friend? Because it's not working today at all. I bet he's fuming, isn't he? Rocket Rob in 14th. Phil is in 15th. Arminis in 12th. Manxman, well, Wendigo's is now in 12th. You can't park that there, mate.
You can't park that there, mate.
Phil in, so it's 13th for Wendigo. Phil is in 12th position. Arminis in 11th. Who's that going in the pits? That's Willard's going in the pits to get rid of the medium compound tyres. Really early. Is that a genius masterstroke or an absolute cock up? We'll find out. Watch this space. Monkey Man Macho, he's in the lead of this race in the Ferrari 458 Italia. 1.6 seconds clear of TJ, who's running in the BMW. 0.4 of a second ahead of Newton. Newton's made an absolute massive charge through the field. Started plumb last, remember, and just got a phenomenal start, and up into third he goes. Aussie Rooster having a good run here. Outside bet for for a top three here for Aussie. Slipstream though making a move in that Supra up into 4th. So Aussie relegated to 5th, but Fubar in that Beetle, he comes through. Fubar up into 5th. That's a good overtake for him. Do you know what? I forgot we got these things. I forgot we got replays, man. So there's Slipstream going through. If we go back to Fubar, he's in 6th like that. We'll watch him take 5th place like that. And I'm sorry that it was at your expense, Aussie. I remembered we had replays. I haven't had them for so long, you forget, didn't you? I don't know why it's not going back to the original picture. There we go. We're back. I pressed it. Sorry, I wanted to expand. I wondered if you could do multiple replays, one after the other, and it turns out you can. But I pressed the button too many times, I couldn't work out where I was. Right, so Monkey Man Macho is 1.6 seconds clear of Newton's. Now got himself up into that top 2, quite comfortably into the top 2. As it stands, we're on lap 3, nearly 4 minutes in. Here at Dragon Trail Gardens in reverse. This is the final race of the test season of the first ever run of Gauntlet. And it, from what started as a kind of seeding of an idea with a few people involved, has grown into a behemoth beast of a competition that is pretty much sold out. Everyone's sold out. To be fair, if it keeps getting this popular, I might start selling tickets. It's sold out every week, and everybody wants a little piece of the Gauntlet. We just have to find a way to streamline the process in between when we roll and get the lobby set up, because it takes a bit of time to set the lobbies up, and it's kind of messing with things. Right, so into the pits goes the front 2. Fubar, does he stay out? I don't think he will. I don't think he will either. No, Manx is actually going for it. Manx is staying out. He's looked after his fuel, but he's in the 911. Is Manxy Manx, man? Yeah, he's running in the 911 up into the lead of this race. Stormfly sticking with him. Guess what? He's gone for the 911 as well. Popular choice. And as I said earlier, I'm painting lots of fence with my spray machine. It's fence and bean cupboards and bike stores. It's in a private gated. Well, it's not gated. It's a fenced community, clearly, because I'm painting the fences. And there's a Bennett with a 911 parked right where I need to be, who hasn't yet chosen to move it. So I may be covering a 911 in the splashback from a spray paint gun tomorrow. And it's a nice silver 911, and I'm painting the fence in a dark oak colour. So it's gonna look like a freckly weirdo. But it's his choice. He's been warned. Move your fucking £80,000 car, or you're gonna get covered in brown speckles. Monkey Man Macho comes out in 3rd. He's got that 3-second penalty though. Newton out in 4th. He's also got that 3-second penalty. Wiggy is out in 5th in the BMW. Guess who else has got that 3-second penalty? That's right, Wiggy got it too. There's Fubar. He comes out. He hasn't got a penalty. Do you know why? Because he stays within the line. Well, I say he stays within the lines. He managed to stay within the lines there again. Give that man a colouring book, because he can stay within the lines. Wendigo, he's gone for that 458. It's a good car, that 458, to be fair. He's running in 7th. Manx and Stormfly into the pits for their first and only stop of the race. I think it's a one stop all day long, isn't it? So Wendigo in 7th. There is Aussie in 8th in his beloved Jaguar. He's got Slipstream behind him in the Supra. That is the Supra we used for Monza. Ominous. That's a sideways. Boom, Shankar. I'm sorry, mate.
Johnny loves Chachi!
I crashed.
You crashed! How are you coming fast?
That was such a bad crash, you deserved 3 of them. Excuse me. There's Phil running in 13th. The gap to Arminis now is 3.4 seconds. Arminis now behind Willard, who is 11 seconds up the road. Rocket Rob is 6.5 behind Phil, and Jay having a torrid time. Torrid time today. He's not got any car dialed in today. To be fair, he's done a lot of racing over the weekend, and he's probably had a pretty stressful day with work and all that, because they made him do a training course, and ain't nobody got time for that. I've actually taken it off the soundboard. I don't know why, because it's quite a cool little thing. There's your leader, but how long is he going to stay leader for? He's got the fastest lap with a 1:33.8. He did that on lap 2. He's in the Ferrari 458, but he's got Knudsen on him. He is on him. He's on him like a seagull gets on your chips when you get to the seaside. He's on him like a crack whore on my cock on a Friday night. After I've just given her 20 quid to nosh me for some rock. That was a mad analogy. I just want to make clear, I don't do that on a Saturday night. I'm normally the crack whore. Manxman is running in third. He's 5.1 seconds behind Newton, who is 8.1 ahead of... he's not behind Newton anymore. Newton's just taken the lead of this race from Monkey Man Macho, and that's from 15th on the grid. And a little bit of a push to pass from Monkey Man Macho. That was a little aggressive between them two. No love lost between them. There's going to be fisticuffs later, and we don't do that here. This is not a student competition. You don't be a dick, but you can get away with most things. You can be a little bit more aggressive here than ordinarily, I would say. But yeah, just don't be a dick. Manxman running in third. Stargroot is in fourth in the BMW. And as long as he stays ahead, I think he's going to win anyway. He's going to win this inaugural Gauntlet trophy, and he'll be presented with a golden glove of win. No, he's not getting fuck all. He'll get a bit of kudos from Discord, and I might give him a reach around if he ever comes to London. Stormfly in fifth. He is 1.2 seconds ahead of Fubar Ferrantis in that Volkswagen Beetle, and that Volkswagen Beetle, despite looking fucking ridiculous, is actually a much better car than you expect, bearing in mind it looks like a big piece of shit. I've never liked the look of the Beetle. It's a phenomenal car to drive. I actually really fun to drive it, but never been a fan of it as a motor car goes. Wendigo, he's in seventh. Running in that Ferrari 458. He's closing on Fubar. 1 second back. We're halfway through the final race of tonight's Gauntlet. Slipstream is in eighth. He's about half a second back from Wendigo. He's 3.3 clear of TJ. He's got Aussie behind him, 1.6 seconds. And then a big gap back to Arminis. 18.2 seconds back to him. Willard's obviously had a problem because he's dropped right down. 6 seconds down to Phil, who's 7.4 ahead of Willard, who's got that dreaded 3-second penalty, and he's fuel and tyres to the end of this race. So that's why he dropped down, because he went into the pits. That's very wide. Very wide. 2.1 to Rocket Rob. Then 41 seconds back to Jay, who he's had enough of this shit. There's your race leader. Who's going to have to pit again, so it's 2 stopper for these guys. Monkey Man Macho, 1.6 seconds clear. Oh, he's gone straight on!
You can't park that there, mate.
That's not the way. I don't know what he was looking at. I don't know if he was looking at some sort of map for a different track, but that is not the direction that corner goes. That corner goes right, mate. It doesn't go straight on. It's not straight, it's a turn. What you're supposed to do is, like, you've got a pedal next to the one that makes the car go loud. There's one next to it that makes the car go quiet. And you touch that one until your car is quiet, and then you turn the steering wheel to the right, and then you get back on the one that makes it go loud. There you go. Driving tips from a master. Manxman in third place, 7.3 seconds back from Monkey Man Macho. The gap obviously a lot smaller now after Monkey Man forgot to turn right. 4.1 is Star Groot. Can he push his way into that top 3 and take this Gauntlet Championship with a podium finish? 13 seconds off the leader. It's not insurmountable that he could get that Beamer up amongst those front runners. Although I kind of want to see Manxman get a podium. I really want to see Manxman get. I mean, he deserves one. He's been around long enough to have one. Monkey Man Macho going very, very slowly. What's going on? Oh, he's run out of fuel. Monkey Man Macho has run out of fuel. That was he put off by that going straight on business, or Willard? I think that was, or was it Wendigo? Very nearly ploughing into the back of his countryman, Monkey Man Macho, slowly drifting into the pits in slow motion. Right, there's your leader, Newton. He's now 11.4 seconds clear after it all went horribly, horribly wrong for Triple M. Manxman is now up into second, and Slipstream is in third. Has he got enough fuel to get to the end of this race? That's a stupid question because I don't know the fucking answer. Fubar, can Fubar take that Beetle into the top 3? He definitely has enough fuel to the end of this race, I think. I think you need more than a quarter of a tank at this stage. Stormflyer, yeah, well, look, if Fubar's got enough, he has most certainly got enough on those medium compound tyre. Aussie Eurostar, he's going to have to pit again for a little splash of fuel, and if you're going to go in for fuel, you might as well put on some racist soft slicky tyres. Overcooking it a little bit there into that right-hander. There is Wiggy, comes back out. He's got nice and fresh racing soft tyres. He's got lots of lovely yummy fuel on board, and he's going to now push that BM towards the finish line in the hope of nicking, or at least confirming by finishing above Stormfly that the championship belong to him. There's Wendigo, who's under pressure from Arminis. Can Arminis put him under enough pressure to make Wendigo make a mistake? Arminis, of course, even if he gets past him, will have to pit, so he may as well not bother trying. Fastest lap is still with Knudsen. It's Knudsen, of course it is. I know it's Knudsen, I can fucking speak, but I'm going to say it as it's Knudsen, who is currently running in first place, 132.2. When did he do that lap? I hear you cry. It's none of your fucking business. Lap number 7 is when he did that lap, and then dropped off the pace a little bit as the tyres and the fuel are dropping off. He's 19. That's it, you heard this right. 15 minutes in, 10 laps in, and he's 19 seconds clear. Someone has been eating their Weetabix today, and that someone is Newton. He's had his Weetabix, he's had some Iron Brew, and he's had some Dubby Energy on his sponsor. I should mention that. He's had loads and loads of Dubby Energy, which is why he is now 19 seconds clear, or 21 seconds clear. He's had so much Dubby Energy, in fact, that he could carry the car on his back. Check them out, they're awesome. They make you win by 22 seconds every time you race on Gran Turismo, and that may or may not be actually true. But then I can't get prosecuted because I don't work for them. I can say what the fuck I like. W Energy makes you have a massive penis. Manxman is 22 seconds behind Newton. Does he come through now into the lead? He does not, but the gap is now only 4 seconds, 3.7 seconds. So a bit of work for him to do, but Manxman's going to have to pit again. He can't go to the end. Those tyres are shot. Stormfly will run to the end. He's running in the top 3. There's Fubar into the pits. Through comes a Slip. Through comes Wiggy. There is Fubar running in 6th. Wendigo running in 7th. Monkey Man Macho. After that disastrous moment where he forgot to turn right, followed by the next disastrous moment where he forgot to put fuel in the car. He is now running in 8th place. Good pace for 8th, but bit too much work for him to do from this stage of the race. TJ is running in 97.8 seconds back from Triple M, 11.7 up from Ozzy Rooster in his famous Jaguar. 2 seconds up from Arminis, and then it's 10.3 seconds back to Felipe. And he's actually got a brother, a twin brother, and they're part of a double act, right? And what they do is they pretend to be shoes. It's Philippe and Philop. I'm really sorry, man. That's poor Shane. But it is Monday. Yeah, sorry, man. Willard. There's Willard Gister. He is 9 seconds back, is Graham, from Phil. Funny enough, I'm working in the road of someone he lost today. I found he's lesbian, working at Graham's Dyke Avenue. Rocket Rob is in 14th. He's 28 seconds clear of Jay, who is not having the greatest of days in the Supra. I don't think we've got any racing on this week because it's chocolate egg weekend, isn't it? It's where we hide bits of chocolate around the house. So basically we do this weekend what fat people do all the time. Basically hiding chocolate around the house and then try and find it so you can eat it. And we're going to do that this weekend. So there's not a lot of racing going on this weekend. Apart from, of course, the Staying Power event at Fuji on Saturday. But no external competitions, of course, because everyone's taking a break. So they can eat chocolate eggs and pray to baby Jesus if that's what they want to do. Although they would be stupid to do that because it's a freaking pagan festival hijacked by some rampaging Christians who are killing people across Europe and saying, worship me, worship me. Right, Newton's 10.5 seconds clear. Absolutely on it like a car bonnet. There is Stormfly running comfortably in second with that Alienware logo on the top of his car. Slipstream running in third. Here goes Wiggy. Wiggy is going to put some pressure on. This is going to be the final lap of the race. Can he put enough pressure on to steal a podium place for his final race in this season 1 of Gauntlet? That is the question. Newton makes it to a 13th lap. Will Stormfly make it? He's close, and yes, he gets the cigar. But I think these guys are going to race it out to the end. Here comes Slip, and that was Rocket Rob making a mistake. Did that cost Wiggy the opportunity to overtake? Photo finish, but Slip just gets it, and Wiggy in 4th place. 5th for Fubar. Wendigo comes home in 6th. 7th is a Manx Man, who I really wanted to get a podium today. Unlucky brother. TJ in 8th. Monkey Man Macho. He's run out of fuel again. He's only gone and done it again. But this time he doesn't lose out and he comes home in 9th. Arminis will come home in 10th. Whereas Knudsen and Stormfly still racing, of course. I could just do that, couldn't I? Yeah, they're nowhere near yet. Willie Juicer's going to come home in 12th, ahead of Phil in 13th, Rocket Robin in 14th, Jay in 15th place. Dun dun dun. So, I haven't added the points up yet, but I can tell you that even just by doing very basic math, that Star Groot is your Gauntlet champion of 2023, and he's going to hold the World Championship aloft and then call out Tyson Fury on Twitter. Or something stupid. Newton, did he fuck this up? How bad does he fuck this up? Is Stormfly going to be close enough? I don't think so. He does make it across the line eventually. That could have gone horribly fucking wrong, though, couldn't it? Here comes Stormfly. He'll take 2nd position. Right now, there he is in the 911. Boom Shankar. Done. We finished. Gauntlet is finished. It's back next week on Thursday. Check out SLP for all of your racing needs. So, rest of the week, it's F1 tomorrow, loads of F1 with Smoking Pirellis and then late night racing. Wednesday, we are live with the final round of the GR3 Open, which will be from Le Mans, I think. Can't remember. I think it's from Le Mans. But it's done anyway. And Kevin is already your champion, but we will crown him properly when he finishes that race on Wednesday. Thursday, some more F1 action with Smoking Pirellis, and then nothing on after that. Friday, I think, don't hold me to this, but I think we have the return of a Eurotrips F1 on Friday. I will have to check the Discord because I'm not entirely sure that is correct. Saturday, we've just got staying. I say just got staying power. Staying power is at Fuji. We return back to staying power after a couple of weeks off for World Championship racing. No GT champions this week because of Chocolate Egg weekend. Sunday's going to be quiet because of that. No WSR Cup, of course, because again, Chocolate Egg weekend, and they race every 2 weeks. Then we come around to next Monday, and by the time we're back here on Monday, it will be the start of the new Open GR4. And if you're not here, then nobody loves you, and your parents adopted you, but only because they were forced to by the Chinese government. Anyway, done and dusted. I'm out of here. This has been highly emotional. I've loved Gauntlet. Every minute of Gauntlet has been absolutely freaking brilliant. I've been Adam Pirate. This has been Black Flag Racing TV with Gauntlet and the Black Flag Racing team, of course. See you tomorrow for some Smoking Pirelli's F1 action. It's been emotional.